Okay, so what I want to run through is what I believe to be the biggest misdiagnosis, was certainly the biggest misdiagnosis or most expensive by far, especially if you're an owner that has to replace an engine. You're a family and you've got to put an engine in a Hilux or a Prado. It is very expensive. It's life-changing. I think we need to start getting some honesty out there into what is the real reason it happens, because people, this is changing families' direction financially in a lot of cases. All day, like my phone just rings non-stop. One phone call after the other, I've cracked a piston. Get off that call, on to the next call. I guarantee you, 50% of those phone calls, people believe that the injector has failed. They've seen something, they've been told by someone that the injector has failed. It is their fault because they haven't replaced the injectors, and that's the way it happens. That is incorrect. It is certainly the reason the manufacturer has never had to do anything. Toyota know that the injectors aren't the problem. They know that we're all wandering around over here blaming injectors and the problem's over there, so don't worry about it. You guys fumble around over there blaming injectors, we'll sail off into the sunset. That's the way it's happened. Unfortunately, there's been, whether it's greed, whatever has got involved, and it has unfortunately led people in the wrong direction. The piston fails, cracks, before the injector fails. People always report, how was it running? It was running beautifully. Was it blowing excessive black smoke? Was there fuel economy issues? No, there wasn't. It was running perfect because the injectors were all fine. The crack in the piston has been there for a long time. It could have been there for 20,000 Ks. People hook their caravan up. Like this one here is a classic example, and we see it every week. We dismantle a minimum of 10 1KD engines a week, and I see it non-stop. I see it all the time, like this. This is a 110 piston where the piston has 2 cracks in it. Both of them haven't made it to the edge yet. They're very close to the edge, but they're not there. So the car is still running beautifully. You get your injectors scanned, feedback values, compensation will be perfect because it is still running perfect. It's sealing, compression, etc. There is no issue. So you hook your caravan up, you head off down the road, you head up a hill, you put your foot down, more weight on the piston, the crack travels all the way to the edge, and then all of a sudden it blows a hole. When it blows a hole, as we can see here, you put a nice path for the compression just to go straight through the exits, normally through the oil ring, into the sump, no compression on this cylinder. All of a sudden the computer in the vehicle knows that cylinder isn't providing any assistance to any of the others. So it tells the injector to put as much fuel in as it can to try and recover that cylinder. So it goes to a maximum value of 5, which is as much fuel as it can throw into that cylinder to try and get the cylinder working again. But that's not the problem. The problem is that it's blown a hole in it. So your mechanic or someone will come along, they'll plug their scan tool in, they'll see that this injector is sitting on a maximum value of 5, and as with what we've all been brainwashed into believing, the injector has failed and cracked that piston. There is unlimited ways to blow the whole theory of injectors cracking pistons out of the water. It does not happen that way. The crack, it is a design fault, and I've had so much trouble trying to get this information out there that it is a design fault. It's not, you blame the injector and that the people haven't changed it. You blame the owner for not maintaining the vehicle. It doesn't matter how much maintenance you do, it's a design fault. It's not a serviceable issue. So I think people need to really start to re-evaluate the way they look at it. Stop blaming the owner, stop blaming injectors, and start to realize that this extremely expensive process that leaves a lot of people sitting on the edge of the road is not the fault of the injector, it's not the fault of the owner, it is the fault of the design of the piston. They've had 3 chances to change that and they haven't. Paperwork will tell you they have, but they haven't. The problem still happens whether you've got an 040 piston in an 05 Hilux or a 110 piston in a 2015 Prado. It happens exactly the same. It happens for the same reasons. The changes that should have been made haven't been made, and that's why we're still going down the same road, same path, same problem, same people paying for it. People need to start thinking that, looking at it from the perspective that it is a design fault, not a customer fault. That's the only way people are going to get anywhere. If there's any way I can help, please give me